Across 17 star systems, alien commanders whisper a single warning to their fleets: never underestimate the humans. But here's what makes no sense. Human warships are smaller, they carry fewer weapons, their armor is thinner, by every measurable standard they should lose every single battle. Yet they don't. In the last decade, Earth's defense fleet has turned back 3 separate invasions, not with superior firepower, not with bigger ships, with something the galaxy's greatest empires still don't understand. I'm about to reveal 3 secrets that terrify alien admirals more than any weapon. First, the psychological warfare tactic that makes entire fleets retreat without firing a shot. Second, the engineering decision that breaks every rule of galactic ship design. And third, the one human trait that no alien species can predict or counter. But the truth behind this will shock you. Because it's not about technology, it's not about numbers, it's about something far more dangerous. Something humanity carried with us from Earth. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The year is 2287. Humanity has been part of the Galactic Council for exactly 32 years. We're the newest species, the youngest, the most inexperienced. The Council includes 73 civilizations. Some have explored space for 10,000 years. Others have weapons that can crack planets. When Earth first made contact, the aliens called us the primitives. They laughed at our ships, they mocked our tactics, they assumed we'd need centuries to catch up. Then came the Battle of Proxima Station. The Krell Empire attacked with 40 warships. Earth sent 12 frigates to defend the mining colony. Every alien observer predicted total human defeat within hours. The battle lasted 9 minutes. All 40 Krell ships retreated, 3 were destroyed. The human fleet lost 0 vessels. The galaxy went silent. Alien military academies demanded explanations. Council scientists studied the battle recordings for months. Empire leaders held emergency sessions. How did humanity win? The Krell had better shields, faster engines, more powerful weapons. They outnumbered humans 3-1. Yet they ran. This wasn't luck, this wasn't a fluke. 6 months later, the Throne Collective tried again. They sent 60 heavy cruisers against Earth's Mars defense grid. They brought enough firepower to level a continent. They lasted 14 minutes before withdrawing. 0 human casualties. Then the Syndicate Alliance made their attempt. They assembled the largest invasion fleet in galactic history, 200 warships, the finest commanders from 12 species. They studied every human battle. They analyzed our tactics. They prepared countermeasures for everything Earth had ever done. The fleet arrived at Saturn's orbit with absolute confidence. They retreated after 21 minutes. Now here's where things get really interesting. After 3 failed invasions, the Galactic Council formed a secret committee. Their mission was simple: discover why human warships are so effective. They recruited the best military minds from every empire. They interviewed captured human officers. They obtained classified Earth Defense Fleet documents. Their final report contained one word: impossible. Because what humans do in space combat shouldn't work. It violates established doctrine. It breaks fundamental laws of military strategy. Yet it works every single time. And that's what terrifies them. Human warships are designed to fail. Let me explain. Every alien species in the galaxy follows the same shipbuilding philosophy: maximum protection, maximum firepower, maximum redundancy. A typical Krell battleship has 17 backup power systems. If the main reactor fails, 16 others activate instantly. The ship keeps fighting. Throne Collective cruisers have armor plating 12 meters thick. Human railgun rounds bounce off like raindrops. Syndicate dreadnoughts carry enough ammunition to fight for 3 months without resupply. These are ships built to survive everything. Human frigates have 2 backup power systems. Our armor is 4 meters thick at most. We carry ammunition for maybe 2 weeks of combat. By galactic standards, human ships are fragile, vulnerable, weak. But here's the twist. Human ships are built for speed. Not engine speed, decision speed. A Krell battleship has a command crew of 200 officers. Every decision requires committee approval. Fire the main weapon, 17 officers must agree. Change course, 12 signatures needed. This system prevents mistakes. It ensures careful, deliberate action. It also takes time. Human warships have command crews of 5 to 8 officers. The captain makes decisions alone. No committees, no approval chains, no delays. When a human captain sees an opportunity, they act within seconds. When a Krell commander sees the same opportunity, they need 4 minutes to get approval. In space combat, 4 minutes is an eternity. But wait, there's more. Alien ships are built with redundancy because empires expect long battles. Their doctrine assumes ships will trade fire for hours or days. You need backup systems for wars of attrition. Humans don't fight wars of attrition. We fight for 30 seconds of absolute chaos. Here's how it works. Human ships enter combat with one goal: create a critical moment. A single instant where the enemy is confused, disorganized, or uncertain. Then we hit them with everything. No holding back, no reserves, no caution. Every weapon fires. Every engine burns at maximum. Every system pushed to the breaking point. Alien commanders call this the human frenzy. They've seen it dozens of times. They still can't counter it. Because here's what they don't understand. When a human ship goes all out, something breaks. Always, power systems overload, weapons overheat, hull stress fractures appear. After 30 seconds of maximum combat, a human frigate is damaged, weakened, sometimes barely functional. But the enemy is dead. Or running. At Proxima Station, human ships fired every weapon simultaneously. The Krell fleet scattered, expecting a sustained barrage. Instead, human ships went dark for 90 seconds while crews frantically rerouted power and repaired systems. The Krell thought it was a trap, some kind of stealth attack preparation. They retreated rather than risk the unknown. The truth, half the human ships had knocked out their own power grids with weapon overload. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. The Earth Defense Fleet actually trains crews to break their own ships. Every human officer learns something called Red Line Protocol. It's a combat manual that lists exactly how to push every system beyond safe limits. Need more engine power? Disable 3 safety regulators and accept a 15% chance of core breach. Need more weapon output? Override the cooling system and fire until the barrels melt. Need more shield strength? Reroute life support power and hope the battle ends before the crew runs out of oxygen. This is insane by galactic standards. Alien crews are taught to preserve their ships above all else. Vessels are expensive. They take years to build. Empires have limited resources. Losing a ship is catastrophic. Human doctrine says something different. Ships are replaceable, missions aren't. We'll sacrifice a frigate to complete an objective. We'll cripple our own vessel to destroy an enemy dreadnought. Earth builds ships fast. Simple designs, mass production. We can replace losses in months, not years. So we take risks no one else will. And that changes everything. But there's a deeper secret. Something that makes alien psychologists lose sleep. Human warship crews are volunteers. This seems normal to us, obvious even. To the rest of the galaxy, it's absolutely terrifying. Here's why. Every major empire uses conscription. The Krell Empire drafts citizens at age 20. The Throne Collective assigns military service based on genetic profiles. The Syndicate Alliance clones soldiers specifically for combat. Mandatory service, no choice, no volunteers. This creates competent crews, well-trained, obedient, reliable. It does not create crews who want to be there. A conscripted Krell gunner fires weapons because it's their duty. They follow orders because refusal means punishment. They don't love their job. They don't dream about combat. They're counting days until service ends. Human crews are different. Every single person on an Earth Defense Fleet ship chose to be there. They applied. They competed. They begged for the assignment. Human warship positions have hundreds of applicants for every open slot. Officers turn down safer, better-paying jobs for a chance to serve on a frigate. Why? Because humans romanticize space combat. We write songs about it. We make movies glorifying it. Children play games pretending to be starship captains. Our culture treats military service as noble, heroic, meaningful. Alien cultures treat it as obligation. This creates a psychological gap that decides battles. When things go wrong, a conscripted crew asks, "Why should I risk my life?" A volunteer crew asks, "How do we win anyway?" At the Battle of Mars, a human destroyer took direct hits that killed 17 crew members and destroyed the main reactor. The ship was dead in space, defenseless. The captain ordered evacuation. The crew refused. They stayed aboard. They rerouted power from life support to weapons. They manually aimed railguns using emergency sights. They kept fighting for 11 more minutes. The enemy fleet was so unnerved by a dead ship still shooting that they focused all firepower on it. This allowed 3 other human vessels to flank and destroy the command ship. The destroyer crew died. The battle was won. No alien crew would make that choice, because they didn't choose to be there in the first place. Plot twist: the Galactic Council actually tried to copy this. After the Mars battle, 5 empires announced new volunteer programs. They offered bonuses. They created recruitment campaigns. They tried to build crews who wanted to fight. It failed completely, because here's what they missed. Human volunteers aren't motivated by the military itself. They're motivated by what the military represents. We fight for Earth, for humanity, for the species. Alien empires fight for territory, resources, political power. When a human crew faces impossible odds, they're not thinking about the Galactic Council's mining rights. They're thinking about families back home, cities they love, a planet they'll never let fall. That emotional connection makes humans unpredictable. And unpredictability wins wars. There's something else. Human crews bond differently than alien crews. On a Krell warship, ranks are strict. Officers don't socialize with enlisted personnel. Commanders eat separately, sleep separately, work in isolation. This maintains discipline, prevents favoritism, ensures clear hierarchy. On human ships, crews eat together. They share stories, they form friendships. Captains know their gunner's favorite food. Engineers know the pilot's family history. This seems inefficient to alien observers, unprofessional even. But it creates something powerful. When a human crew member is injured, others don't just follow medical protocol. They get angry, protective, personal. They fight harder. At Proxima Station, a human frigate's medical bay took a direct hit. 3 wounded sailors died instantly. The ship's weapons officer went berserk. She overrode safety protocols and fired the main railgun 17 times in 90 seconds. The weapon literally melted. The entire gun assembly had to be replaced. She destroyed 4 enemy vessels before the weapon failed. Alien analysts call this emotional combat disorder. They think it's a weakness, a sign of poor training. They're wrong. That weapons officer wasn't disordered. She was motivated. And motivation beats training every time. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The thing that scares empires more than human tactics or ship design. The reason alien leaders hold secret meetings about the human problem. Humans treat war like a game we want to win. Aliens treat war like a process they want to survive. This changes everything. Here's what I mean. In galactic military doctrine, space combat has rules. Unwritten rules that every civilization follows. Rule 1, protect your command ship. Losing commanders means losing coordination. Rule 2, retreat if casualties exceed 20%. Preserve your forces for future battles. Rule 3, never sacrifice expensive assets for minor tactical gains. These rules make sense. They minimize losses. They ensure empires can fight multiple wars across multiple fronts. Every species follows them, except humans. At the Battle of Jupiter's moons, Earth's defense fleet faced a syndicate invasion force. The aliens had 40 heavy cruisers. Humans had 23 mixed vessels. Standard doctrine says retreat, regroup, wait for reinforcements. The human admiral did something else. She sent her flagship directly at the enemy command carrier, alone. No support, no backup, just one ship charging 40. The Syndicate fleet panicked. They assumed it was a trick, a new weapon, a suicide attack. They focused all firepower on the flagship. While they did, the other 22 human ships split into 7-person wolf packs. They hit the Syndicate flanks from 4 directions simultaneously. The enemy fleet shattered. The human flagship was destroyed. The admiral died, 300 crew members lost. But humanity won. Alien commanders studied this battle for months. Their conclusion: the humans are insane. Because no rational commander sacrifices their flagship. It's suicide. It's wasteful. It's everything military doctrine says not to do. But here's what they don't understand. To humans, rules are suggestions. We break rules constantly, question authority, challenge tradition. It's literally how our species thinks. An alien officer sees a rule and thinks, this is wisdom from thousands of years of warfare. A human officer sees the same rule and thinks, I wonder if there's a better way. This makes human tactics impossible to predict. The Krell Empire has a military computer that analyzes battles and predicts enemy actions. It's correct 97% of the time against other aliens. Against humans, 38% accuracy. Because we don't follow patterns, we improvise, we try things that shouldn't work. Sometimes they don't work. When they do, we win battles we had no right to win. But there's something deeper. Humans are the only species that sees war as solvable. Think about that. Alien empires accept that space combat is deadly, expensive, long. They build their militaries around attrition. Whoever has more ships eventually wins. Humans look at war and ask, how do we end this quickly? We don't want to fight for years. We want to fight once, decisively, permanently. This creates completely different strategies. The Throne Collective invaded Earth's outer colonies with a careful, methodical plan. They'd capture 1 system per year, slowly tighten the blockade, force humanity to surrender through economic pressure. A 10-year strategy. Earth responded with Operation Rapid Strike. We built 200 small, fast-attack ships in 8 months, not warships, barely armed transports with engines and a few missiles. We sent them all at once, directly at Throne Collective homeworld. No attempt to recapture colonies, no defensive battles, just a straight shot at their capital. The collective fleet was scattered across a dozen systems. They couldn't respond fast enough. Humanity's ragtag fleet reached striking distance of the Throne homeworld in 3 weeks. We didn't attack, we just sat there, waiting, 200 ships pointed at their most valuable planet. The collective surrendered within days. They recalled every invasion force, signed a peace treaty, returned all captured territory. Because humans don't play the long game, we flip the board. Alien military academies now teach this as human asymmetric doctrine. They have entire courses on it. But they still can't counter it. Because countering it requires thinking like humans. And they can't. Wait, there's more. The Galactic Council recently discovered something terrifying about human warship design. Our ships aren't just built for combat, they're built for evolution. Let me explain. A Krell battleship takes 8 years to construct. During construction, engineers install specific weapons, specific systems, specific capabilities. Once built, the ship stays that way for decades. Upgrades are rare, modifications are expensive. It's a finished product. Human ships are different. Every human warship has modular weapon bays, swappable power systems, reconfigurable hulls. We can completely change a ship's capabilities in weeks. That frigate with railguns, next month it has missile batteries. That destroyer with heavy shields, now it's a fast attack craft with minimal protection. We redesign our fleet constantly. Why? Because humans learn. After every battle, Earth's defense fleet analyzes what worked, what didn't, what surprised us. Then we change everything. The Krell use the same tactics they perfected 3,000 years ago. Why fix what isn't broken? Humans use tactics we invented last month, and will invent new ones next month. This is evolutionary warfare. The galaxy has never seen it before. Empires build militaries that last centuries, stable, predictable, reliable. Earth builds a military that transforms constantly, unstable, unpredictable, dangerous. And that's the secret. So what does all this mean for us today? Right now, human warships are changing the entire galactic balance of power. Not because we're stronger, because we're different. For 10,000 years, the galaxy had rules. Big empires fought each other. Small species stayed neutral. Everyone understood their place. Humanity threw out that system. We proved small fleets can beat large ones. We showed that volunteers outfight conscripts. We demonstrated that breaking rules works better than following them. And now every species is terrified. Because if humans can do this, who else can? The Galactic Council has a secret list. They call it the Human Risk Assessment. It tracks every species that might copy Earth's approach. There are 47 species on that list. Young civilizations, rebellious colonies, frontier worlds. All watching Earth, all learning from our victories. The Council fears a galaxy where everyone fights like humans. Because current military doctrine doesn't work against human tactics. Empires have spent thousands of years perfecting strategies that humans counter in weeks. If those strategies stop working, power structures collapse. Think about it. The Krell Empire dominates 17 systems because they have the largest fleet. If fleet size stops mattering, what happens to Krell dominance? The Throne Collective controls trade routes through military presence. If small forces can defeat large ones, those routes become vulnerable. Established empires are built on assumptions. Humans broke those assumptions. Now everything is unstable. Here's what's really happening. The galaxy is entering an arms race, not for bigger weapons, for human-style adaptability. 5 empires have launched programs to train volunteer crews. 12 are redesigning ships for modular flexibility. The Syndicate Alliance is teaching officers to think creatively. They hired human consultants to run workshops on improvisation. It's not working well. Because you can't teach creativity in a classroom. You can't mandate innovation. These traits emerge from culture, from childhood, from thousands of years of human history. Aliens are trying to copy the results without understanding the foundation. But some species are getting close. The Viridian Commonwealth studied human psychology for 3 years. They identified key traits: curiosity, competitiveness, risk tolerance. Then they started breeding for those traits. Genetic engineering, selective reproduction, cultural conditioning. They're creating Viridians who think like humans. Early results are promising. Viridian ships now use tactics that resemble Earth's approach. If they succeed, the galaxy gets more dangerous. Not just humans breaking rules, multiple species doing it. Chaos replacing order. Earth's military advisors see this coming. They're debating responses. Some say help allies adopt human tactics, build a coalition of adaptive species. Others say maintain the advantage, keep our methods secret. Both approaches have risks. If we share knowledge, we lose our edge. Other species might surpass us. If we stay isolated, we face the entire galaxy alone. There's no good answer. Meanwhile, something else is happening. Alien civilians are watching human victories, and they're asking questions. Why do their leaders use conscription when volunteers fight better? Why do their militaries resist change when adaptation wins wars? Why follow old rules when breaking them works? These questions terrify galactic governments because they lead to revolution. 3 minor species have already reformed their militaries based on human models. 2 overthrew their ruling councils. 1 declared independence from their empire. Humanity isn't just winning battles, we're spreading ideas. And ideas are more dangerous than warships. The Galactic Council is paralyzed. They can't fight Earth directly. 3 invasions failed. A 4th would probably fail too. But they can't accept our influence either. It threatens everything they've built. So they're trying something new. Assimilation. Last year, the Council offered Earth full membership, not provisional status, full voting rights, equal standing with ancient empires. They invited human officers to teach at military academies. They requested joint training exercises. They proposed technology-sharing agreements. On the surface, it's cooperation. Really, it's infiltration. They want to understand humans from the inside, learn our weaknesses, find ways to counter our advantages. Earth's government is debating the offer. Some see opportunity, a chance to shape galactic policy to prevent future wars. Others see a trap, a way for empires to neutralize humanity's edge. The decision hasn't been made yet. But here's what we know. Regardless of Earth's choice, the galaxy has changed. Before humanity, space warfare was predictable. Battles followed patterns. Outcomes depended on resources. Now warfare is fluid, unpredictable. Outcome depends on creativity. That's permanent. Even if humans disappeared tomorrow, we've proven that small, clever forces can triumph. Other species won't forget that. The era of massive, slow empires is ending. The age of fast, adaptive fleets is beginning. And humanity started it. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Earth's defense fleet keeps one document absolutely classified. It's not a weapon design, not battle plans, not technology. It's a psychological profile, titled Why Humans Win. Only 3 people have full access: the Admiral of the Fleet, the Secretary of Defense, the President. Fragments have leaked over the years. Officers whisper about it, analysts speculate. But I found a source, someone who read the full document. Here's what it says. Humans win because we've been fighting longer than any species in the galaxy. Not in space, on Earth. Every alien civilization discovered warfare after reaching space. They fought over planets, resources, territory among the stars. Their militaries are a few thousand years old at most. Humanity, we've been at war for 50,000 years. We invented warfare. Stone Age tribes fought over hunting grounds. Bronze Age kingdoms clashed over rivers. Iron Age empires conquered continents. We've fought on every terrain, in every condition, with every weapon imaginable. War is in our bones. We've spent millennia perfecting combat, learning from defeat, evolving tactics. By the time we reached space, we had 50,000 years of military experience. The Krell had 3,000. That gap matters. But there's something deeper in that document. Something that explains everything. Humans are the only species that treats impossible odds as motivation. Think about Earth's history. We crossed oceans in wooden boats. We climbed mountains that killed hundreds before one person succeeded. We flew machines that crashed 99 times before one stayed airborne. Every major human achievement started with someone saying, "This can't be done." And then we did it anyway. Alien species are logical, rational. They assess situations accurately. If odds of success are low, they don't attempt the task. Why waste resources on failure? Humans see the same impossible odds and think, challenge accepted. This is cultural insanity by galactic standards. It's also why we win. At the Battle of Neptune Station, Earth's defenders faced 200 enemy ships with just 9 frigates. Odds of survival, 0.3%. The human commander didn't surrender, didn't retreat. She rallied her crews with one sentence: "They think we can't win, let's prove them wrong." That's not rational, that's not logical. That's human. And it worked. The document concludes with a prediction. As long as humanity maintains this trait, we'll remain militarily dominant, not because we're better, because we're stubborn. We refuse to accept defeat. We keep fighting when any reasonable species would quit. And eventually, that wears down even the largest empire. But the document ends with a warning. This trait requires freedom. Humans fight impossible battles when it's their choice, when they believe in the cause, when they have agency. If Earth's government ever becomes authoritarian, if we force citizens to fight, if we remove choice, we lose this advantage. We become like every other empire. Powerful maybe, but predictable. Beatable. That's the hidden reason galactic empires fear human warships most. Not our weapons, not our ships, not our tactics. Our freedom. Because free humans are the most dangerous force in the galaxy. We can't be predicted, can't be controlled, can't be broken. We're chaos wrapped in logic, insanity pretending to be strategy. And no empire, no matter how ancient or powerful, knows how to fight that. If this opened your eyes to what makes humanity special, you need to hear what's coming next. Let's recap what we've discovered. Human warships aren't feared for their firepower. They're feared because we build them to break, crew them with volunteers who want to be there, and command them with officers who treat rules as suggestions. We fight faster, risk more, and refuse to quit even when logic says we should. That combination terrifies empires built on predictability and order. But here's what makes this even more important. Right now, Earth stands at a crossroads. The Galactic Council wants to absorb us into their system. They're offering membership, cooperation, and integration. Sounds good, peaceful, logical. But integration means standardization. It means adopting galactic military doctrine, following their rules, thinking like them. It means becoming predictable. If that happens, humanity loses its edge. We become another empire, powerful maybe, but normal. Beatable. The debate is happening now, in government chambers, military headquarters, council meetings. Most civilians don't even know it's happening. But the decision will shape humanity's future for centuries. Do we join the galactic order and gain stability? Or do we stay independent and keep our dangerous edge? There's no obvious answer. Both paths have merit, both have risks. But here's what I think. Humanity didn't become dominant by playing it safe. We didn't reach space by following rules. We didn't win 3 invasions by thinking like everyone else. We succeeded by being uniquely, chaotically, stubbornly human. That's worth preserving. Not because it makes us better than other species, because it makes us different. And the galaxy needs different. For 10,000 years, galactic civilization has stagnated. Same rules, same tactics, same thinking. Humanity shook that up. We proved innovation beats tradition. Creativity beats resources, will beats logic. If we lose that, the galaxy goes back to sleep. Empires return to their old patterns. Progress stops, everything freezes. But if we maintain our independence, we keep pushing boundaries. We keep forcing the galaxy to adapt. We keep proving that young, small species can matter as much as ancient empires. That's a message worth fighting for. Now I want to hear from you. Should Earth join the Galactic Council as full members? Or should we maintain independence and risk standing alone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And here's something else. This story is part of a much larger picture. Humanity's role in galactic politics is evolving every day. There are decisions being made right now that will determine our future among the stars. If you want to stay updated on these developments, hit that subscribe button. I'm releasing new videos every week covering humanity's journey through the galaxy. We're going to explore alien cultures, reveal classified military operations, and uncover secrets that governments don't want you to know. This is just the beginning. Also, if this video gave you a new perspective on what makes humanity special, hit that like button. It helps other people discover these stories. Because here's the truth. The more people who understand humanity's unique strengths, the better equipped we are to preserve them. Knowledge is power, awareness is armor. And right now, we need both. The galaxy is watching Earth, studying us, learning from us. Some want to copy us, others want to contain us. But all of them respect us, because we did something no one thought possible. We arrived late to galactic civilization. We had the smallest fleet, the least experience, the weakest position. And we became the most feared military force in known space. Not through conquest, through creativity. Not through size, through spirit. Not through following rules, through breaking them. That's the human story. That's why empires fear our warships. That's why our future matters. So stay informed, stay curious, stay engaged. Because humanity's greatest battles aren't behind us. They're just beginning. And you're part of this story. Your voice matters, your awareness matters, your choices matter. Together, we determine what humanity becomes among the stars. Do we blend in, or do we stand out? Do we follow, or do we lead? Do we adapt to the galaxy, or does the galaxy adapt to us? I know my answer. What's yours? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, in a galaxy of empires, be human.